All right. It's so good and great to be here right about now. Let's talk more action. I welcome us as we all clock in one after the other. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I see everyone joining, trying to pin our topic of discourse. All right. Good evening and happy independence to Nigeria. Happy independence to all of us. If you can hear me very well, I would love to read from you. I would love to read your comments as we prepare to start the session proper. So I would love to hear from you if you can hear me properly, so that I will be sure that everything is set for us to have a great time on the show today. We'll be having a very special someone joining, and his name is, you know him. He's someone that is very, very popular, someone whose works transcends the level of entertainment. He has actually penetrated into the arena of social commentary and the likes. He's no other person than Donga. In a short while, he will be joining us. My name is Asiri. Some people call me Damn Larry. So I'll be your host for the next couple of minutes, and I can assure you it's going to be great. It's going to be great this evening. We'll be talking about let's talk more action, way forward for our dear country, Nigeria. It's no news that, please, nobody is commenting yet. I need to see comments. I know people are waving at me, and I'm trying my best to wave back. But please drop comments. Or did we disable comment? We didn't disable comment. So please feel free to drop comments. I want to hear from you. You can say, who is this black guy? Just drop something. Just drop a comment. That way I'll be sure that we are good to go. We are all on track. That way I'll be sure that we are all on track. Waiting for Donga to join. So let's talk more action. It's no good. Erudite Sheun, thank you for that. It's no longer news that, oh, Donga is here finally. Donga is here, so I'm going to just add him right away because there's no time to check time. There's no time to check time. It's a great privilege seeing Donga again.
Yes.
Frank is coming up in 3, 2, 1, action. What's Bobby?
Hey, good to see you, brother.
It's a greater pleasure seeing you.
How's your side now?
My side is seeing you already. My day is made.
Thank God. Thank God. Man, just to see, because I don't know this internet now. Everybody think they watch from anywhere in the world.
Man, I thought your heart would be green.
Man, based on say what happened. They say the land is green. They say our heart is green.
Patriotism now. At least some people now, they remove the red blood in their body. They replace it with green blood cell yesterday, and they know where they find themselves now. So
hey, it is well. We'll go talk about that one to join now. No wala.
Welcome, sir. You're someone I respect so much, and I'm very loud about it. You're one of the few individuals who showed the potential in entertainers being social commentators, and yet not losing their essence in the process. And I must really love you for that. Your series on unemployment was one of the. Please help us attend to that unemployed.
You know, say they do nursery school, join my house now, and they care. So you know, so all these one shut down, people on the parent they go work. I they gather them now side also. So they are in the hand. That's what the thing they do.
Donga is running the crutch now.
My brother run out.
That's good.
Let's hear.
At least it's good to know that we are more than two in this discussion. It makes it more interesting. So I want to ask, the first question I want to ask you, so that I won't waste time, is how were you able to fuse entertainment and social commentary, and yet you didn't lose your vibe in both? You didn't lose the essence.
Well, for me, it comes naturally to me. First of all, I think the very first job I did in a 9-to-5 structure was as a journalist in a TV station. I was a broadcast journalist. I was trained as a journalist, and that was the first job I did. Even though my background in school was agricultural sciences with a master's degree in genetics. So I pretty much am passionate about people succeeding. I love to see people succeed. When it comes to young people or youths, going to school for 4 or 5 or 7 years is not a joke. And under the circumstance with which Nigerians get education, it's through sweat and blood, you know. And I wouldn't want to see anybody go through that system and not get employed. So that became, and I saw so many young people around me, family, friends, neighbors, you know, acquaintances, not particularly get the jobs they hoped and thought they were going to get after school. And then I grew up with stories of our parents, or at least their set, you know, the good old days of university, being a student in university, where each student had a quarter chicken in the cafeteria. They had a proper cafeteria. If you're not careful, if you mention the word cafeteria now, some undergraduates don't feel relate
At all.
I go school we say, man, not too for my hand, I school hand right now. I go school we say, we not get cafeteria now, buttery, we get buttery. Some people now mammy market.
Same here too.
You understand how they go now. But when you go to posh schools, you know, Covenant University, Abuad, all those kind of schools, you know, you say cafeteria a day. Who grew up with these kind of stories? You say people they had a what do you call these people that attended to your stuff in the hostels? Good old days, anyways. So I felt Potters. God bless you. Yeah. You see Potter for your school when you go to school.
Which Potter? Now one old woman like this, when face be like this.
I be my own Potter for school. Now me they fetch water from well. Now me they iron my clothes. Nothing like that. But you see when we hear stories of, you know, people that had Potters, that had school mothers and fathers, and, you know, yeah, and those kind of things. We had next to nothing, very little. So that passion from being a journalist and, you know, being more exposed to information around the country, because we had to write reports, I shot documentaries, I anchored news, all that kind of broadened my mind, and I saw a bigger picture, you know, and I interviewed a lot of people, and you know, HR professionals were part of the people I interviewed, and employers of labor, and I started getting this thing of unemployability of Nigerian youths. That saddened my heart. You know, people were at a great disadvantage. Some people came from backgrounds that they had to work harder to express themselves in the common official language of Nigeria, English. And some people didn't have the resources to build their minds to the level they needed to build it to get the jobs they desired. All these kind of things. So I just felt passion for the young people that, oh boy, we're already at a disadvantage. Now, the economy and the society is not even looking towards your side. It looked like the ruling class were concerned about other things than primarily providing jobs. That kind of gripped me, and so it came naturally to me. Social commentary came naturally to me, and then comedy. I can't help, you know. Sometimes I don't even know what I do with the funny people. I just do my thing. They say now I don't open eye. I don't go open eye based on say you did that. Man, no open eye again. I thought they do my thing. They live my life. So the summary of your question is, I'm just being me.
Wow, you are just being you. I love that. And I'm going to draw out an action point from what you just said, because our focal point tonight is not to draw out issues, is to give potential action points. And this is the action point. One of our postures as youth, drawing lessons from Frank Donga's story, is that whatever talent you have, whatever gift you have, plug it into a societal ill, into a societal anomaly. Hope I'm not speaking too much English.
No, right on.
And in that way, you will be on the side of action, not people that are just reacting. So that's number one, because we address. So I want everybody joining. We're in class now. So write it down. Number one inference from this session is whatever potential you have, ensure you plug it in to attack a societal aid, to correct another. If it is writing, if it is comedy, if you're a medical doctor, just find a way to plug it in. Ensure that whatever you have is addressing one of our problems in this. It will not only give you relevance, it will also help us at large. So moving forward, sir. Sorry that
shout
I
out
have
before
to
we move forward. A big shout out to everybody joining us. Send a message to your friends. It's going to be one of the best 30 minutes of my life, because I'm seeing you guys, and I love seeing you guys live on Instagram. You know, see this one. No be like our normal skit. We say we done the edit and not live. Anything will happen, I happen. But big shout out to you guys joining us on live. I want to appreciate you. I might not get the time. Benga Deoti, I see you. Sweet Soul Official, I see you. Miss Lady Funlayo, thank you. I love this of Frank Donga, Mr. OY1. Somebody said jotting things down. I saw that comment just now. Thank you guys. Erudite Sheon. All of you guys, thank you so much. Let's drop in your conversations and your comments, and let's have the best time while we're at it.
Yes, so thank you. The Real Emperor, all of you, we love you. Thank you. Please don't leave us. Stay with us. Don't leave us.
Don't leave us.
Yeah. So going forward, we have one action point already. So I want to ask you, sir, you've interacted with youth across all boards. If you have to mention 3 of the major challenges, it might not be up to 3, it might be just 1. If you have to mention 3 challenges that is facing a typical Nigerian youth, what would be your pointers?
3 challenges facing the typical youth in Nigeria. First of all, ignorance. 2, distraction. 3, very poor or limited resources. Ignorance, 1, because if you're not careful, if you're not privileged to go to a private university from when you're private school from when you're young, all the way to private secondary school and private university, ignorance might be haunting you. By default, a lot of us are ignorant.
It's true.
We don't see the educational system might not be built to our favor. I've gone through the same educational system in Nigeria. A lot of what I learned was self-taught. That's not to take credit away from the teachers. A few teachers, a couple of them are really dedicated and passionate about what they are doing, what they are teaching. Unfortunately, it's not there. Starting from guidance and counseling, a lot of people didn't even know why they were in school. Up to now, I thought it was a problem of my generation when we were in school. A lot of them don't even know why they are still in school. Mama say, "Man, go school." All my guys, they school. My G, they class. Man, they school. A lot of us also went to school. So we didn't even have a purpose. Very few people have the privilege to go and study what they are truly passionate or gifted in. Why? Your uncle will be physiotherapist. Don't tell you, say, Baba, na physiotherapist. They chop money for UK now. Na nursing for Jamaica now. Na medicine now. If you not study engineering, nothing for you. Na petroleum engineering, go oil and gas. So people that had a passion for art, if not be saying now, be say people just get down to study what they are passionate about. Ignorance was a big problem back, and still a big problem, 2, what was the second point I said? I know the third thing I said was poor resources, limited resources. Ignorance, yes. Yeah, ignorance is the number 1 problem.
Yes, then absence of resources.
Absence of resources. And the third, I want to remember the third thing.
Who can remind us the second one? Let's know good students.
They are listening. I'll get back to it. See, the limited resources. You understand? Limited resources in the terms of if you want to explore. Distraction, yeah. I'll go to distraction last. So, limited resources. First of all, how do you know Nigerian youths are resilient? We are resilient. We're naturally gifted. We're hardworking. Contrary to whatever anybody anywhere has said, we're not lazy. We're hardworking. That is not to say some people are not lazy, but the general majority of youth. I mean, look, we put energy and passion into anything we want to do, but resources are limited. In some countries of the world, when you have an idea, they will put you through a system and they have resources to nurture your idea through that process. A lot of the entertainment industry people, by sheer clawing their way to the top, some of them, a lot of them on the street, talking about people like Ajegunle legends, When I talk about people, when I mention Ajegunle, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Musicians that came out from Ajegunle. People like that, people like African China, and a whole lot of others, when I say Ojuelegba, the people that came from Ojuelegba. So people practically claw their way to the top. So resources are not always available for Nigerians. Some people have brilliant business ideas, but to get collateral or to get the financial resources or the mentorship that you need to start early. That's why you go see somebody who is saying at 35, he's saying, I'm aspiring at 35. He's aspiring to be a businessman. Baba, time don't they go? You know, we resources to start early. So we are lacking. The third thing is distraction. And that distraction, it's a holistic. Sometimes we distract ourselves by ourselves. Legitimately, yes, we get excuse because we don't want to hear this sad story where they come from the political angle. So a lot of us have shut down our mind, much to our own peril. Because if you don't know waiting your neighbor, they fry. By the time house burst down, fire burst out in flat bomb. Now your flat be next. So a lot of our youths have have sealed their mind. They've coated their mind against what is happening in politics or governance, and it's not supposed to be so. So that distraction is what is another big problem for us. It's self-inflicted partially, and then it's a systemic thing in that the system itself is distracting us. They don't want us to know what is really happening. There's a lot of silence. There's a lot of lack of information. There's a lot of gap in communication, in relationship, in interaction between leadership and followership. One small political office like local government chairman and person where they come street, talking to the youth, who for me, I will do this road. That transformer will no good. Make the guy enter finish. Now 2 mopo, 4 boys, and a convoy of minimum of 3 or 4 cars. Now you go to follow the local government chairman guy around. Nobody will talk to him again. You understand? So, and then we are carried away by the opulence of the political class. We want to be like them because it's the quickest way to get rich. If you are not talented and make your way through acting, comedy, or music and sports, is the easiest way. And suffering abounds on the streets. You go to school, you come out, there's no guarantee anywhere. Nothing like guarantee, So that's the thing. So this ignorance, lack of resources, and distraction are the 3 biggest problems for Nigerians for me right now. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I will now expand the action points from these 3 points. In fact, these 3 points will be the core of our entire discussions tonight. We'll just dance around it. Because there's no way we'll talk about ignorance and we won't touch on our educational system in Nigeria. Something funny happened to me. Thank you, Nedu. It's good to see you here, Nedu.
Hey, Nedu.
Don't allow thunder. Don't allow
the landlord himself.
Also, I beg.
No thunder before us. He landlord the house. I know to talk with you there, but he don't see us.
I understand. So there's no way we'll talk about ignorance and we won't touch on our educational system. I was in UK last year, so I was in my friend's house. So his kids, they got back from school, and the Nigerian mentality. When in Nigeria, when a child comes out from school, you look at them and you be like, "What class are you?" Once they say primary 2, the next they say, "I will take Kawiton." How this. So, and Nigeria we like to drill young children. So you ask them A for apple, B for baby. You ask them 2 times 1, 2. So I've forgotten that I'm not in Nigeria. So my friends' children, they got back from school and I was like, "Oh, Patricia, can you recite A for apple for me?" And the girl was like, "Sorry." Like she looked blank. So it was at that point I realized that even the curriculum we are using in Nigeria is obsolete, is old-fashioned, and it's the same thing. Do you know that when I schooled in OAU, it was the same lecture notes that they used 20 years ago, because I was able to see one of my lecturer's notes and I saw the date on it. It was dated like 1980 something, 1970. I was like, wow. So are you telling me that? And I studied a course like microbiology where things are changing every second. So how do we catch up? How do we bridge the gap? Because obviously we are at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So how do we bridge this gap? Thank God for internet and the likes. I know we still get, but how do we speak to the consciousness of the present day Nigerian to understand that they are lagging behind and they need to personally take a decision to catch up?
Let me start with this old saying I heard when I was in secondary school, Loyola College in Ibadan. There's this teacher of mine that said, "A fool does not know and does not know that he does not know. You can't help a man who is sick and doesn't know he's sick. I think the first thing we need to understand is illumination of the mind. And that's why me I dey like and when people they travel. Waiting you talk now, you say when you travel. Me say with all the OAU when you go, you not reason and say our curriculum, say our system. We are not getting any updates. I was talking to somebody that studies something, and I was asking the cutting edge research findings. They were looking at me and I say, if you sit down with waiting lecturer they teach you, you go shock. You say now waiting in lecturer teach them when in the 100 level, person will be your lecturer, will be saying a PhD candidate. When in the 100 level, now waiting in lecturer teach learn when into the 100 level. Generation don't they treat like that. Oh. That's what they are passing on to you. You understand? I say upgrade yourself. Oh. So I'm happy that the only solution to that one is self-awareness. So when our eyes need to be open, the skills need to fall off. And this is how it's going to follow. I'm currently happy with the whole internet explosion thing. It's good for us. It's good. That's why me, I will not support anybody to clamp anybody on social media or clamp information. Yeah, there are disadvantages of misuse of information, fake news, hate speech. Yeah, but the advantages, we need it more than the disadvantage that is doing us. The advantages coming from information explosion through the internet, we need it more than the disadvantages that we may get in the short or long run. That's why I will not support anybody caging us. Freedom of expression and information has to go on. Now, this self-awareness is good because when people travel out of Nigeria to places like Ghana wasn't in the mix before, but let me start from Ghana. With the things before, all you heard about Ghana was Ghana must go, and we make jokes about our Ghanaian brothers. Now people are going to get to Ghana, and Charlie, people are now realizing that Ghana is not such a redundant place. So it's a very proactive place, and a lot of people are making progress in Ghana. My brother, Charlie, you know what I'm saying? So people now, eye don't they open now. Say even Ghana next on the board, they don't they waka. Even they don't see oil for Ghana now. Our eye don't come down now. We didn't show that before. They don't. When people now begin go South Africa, they can't realize say streets feel clean, everything feels soft. Government feel get sense. They plan for the future of their children. Can't go Yankee, can't go London. Can't say school feel get proper planning. Teachers feel they treated well. You understand? So that's what I'm saying. When people begin to watch things online, they begin to hear news of other countries. Awareness will come. You begin to think. Before we were caged in here, it was a bubble. We don't know. We know they go out. Only the few children of the very rich will be saying that then the government, now their children they travel out. Now, common man picking up the travel out based on music collaboration, entertainment collaboration, scholarship here and there. So those people now begin to come when they tell other people as they be. Say, see, we don't dey behind though. Hey,
Nigerians
house. Nothing when there's no go see on top. Nigeria,
they were changing.
Never take light as they line.
They were changing the power source. Pray. Somebody's changing the power source. I didn't know what happened.
You want touch light, Asiri? I mean, I can't do you on.
You see, this is part of the problem of Nigeria that we're talking about.
We never do the thing. I for shine you light for here. While I do, they say we're producing 5,000 megawatts. You know, I heard something on the radio today. I can't remember where I heard it from. I think it was Nigerian Info. Somebody was making an analysis and said we are producing 5,000 megawatts. It's supposed to be 1,000 megawatts to a million people or something like that. The calculation shine summary, no quote my math, say we are supposed to be producing 200,000 megawatts of electricity from 1960 to now. What is our problem, Gongo? I want to begin to jump your question, go forward. But number one step, now make with the day aware. That's why me, I know they like when people they savage it on that point. Savage. See, I'm a comedian. My occupation is comedy right now. So I want people to watch my skits, to engage me, MC, acting, make I do skit, all that. I like it though, I go appreciate that. But beyond that, when I laugh, when I make you laugh, finish, more we can't sit down, more we can't talk sense into our head, can't open eyes, say, now so we suppose they. Laughing is good. We can distract each other with comedy. But beyond the laughter, what happens? It's like temporarily getting high on drugs. When the highness goes, your problem, now you go first, what? Now your problem would use and catch it, clean your eyes, say, Baba, your eye don't come down. I see there.
You don't clear.
I see there. I never go. That was me. I tell you, say, taking drugs because you want to feel hyper problem is not your solution. In case you're here, you're watching. I know they support drug abuse or drug use in any form. When you take it, you go high. When you come down, you land back in your problem. So learn to solve problem, learn to communicate and look for solutions and answers. The first thing we need to do in Nigeria is this awareness is good for us. So that's the first solution, I think. I mean, asking for a solution way forward to bridge the gap.
Yes.
Because the people where they are not necessarily interested in you getting aware. You must aware yourself by yourself.
Aware yourself by yourself. Thank you. And prophetically, Nigeria happened during the that someone already commented that Nigeria happened. Yemi Grace, they took. See, this is the reality of an average Nigerian, where we switch between power sources. You switch from generator to inverter, back to power, back to generator, back to inverter, back to power. But we still get there. Thank God that we saw it. Now it has even gotten to the point of our ISPs. Now, before I go online for any session, now I have to be sure. I will have to check the MB, the megabyte per second of my internet. So I have like 8 ISPs. I will now look for there was a day, so that there was a day I was to come up on CNN. So through Skype, when my internet jammed their own internet, I turned to Abino. We have to reschedule. So this is the part of the realities we are talking about, where the circumstances facing us, they are already everywhere we step into. We step there with a baggage of disadvantage. And one of the action points is what you just inform us, that if everybody is not aware in the world, every other people can be permitted not to be aware in the world. As a Nigerian, living in the realities and peculiarities and the uncertainties of this nation, it is suicidal for you not to be aware. It is suicidal. It is just suicidal. So we have 2 action points already. Number 1, because we already say let's talk more action. The first action point is whatever skill you have, ensure that you plug it into a societal anomaly and use your gifts to redefine,
speak out.
That. Yeah, speak out, act it out, tweet it out. Just ensure you are on the lane of action. And also, you have to be self-aware, because that's the only way you can catch up with the world. If you are going at the pace and frequency of this nation, you are like 100 years behind. So going forward, I'm really enjoying this conversation, and it takes only an intellectual mind for. I must appreciate your intellectuality, because now I'm already shaking. Your glory is shaking my own.
Waiting, shaking my own glory. We get together now. Oh yeah, right on. Yeah.
So I want to ask you. Many people feel Nigeria has a leadership problem. That okay, it's leadership. Then some of the opinion that, well, is it not the people that elect leaders? Okay, bad people will elect bad leaders, good people will elect good leaders. So I want to ask, our problem in Nigeria, is it a leadership problem? Is it a citizens problem? Or is it both?
Okay, let me be philosophical and a bit cheeky. Now, citizen problem. We don't even get leadership problem. It be like say they ask me, say, we get more problem. When your beans not good, I don't understand. Say now come they take more money.
You get more problem. I'm not sure. That's deep.
No, reason now. More reason now. You get more problem. Your beans not good. You want to blame beans. You want to blame more. Say now more
you go blame now.
Not be con that they take you more now. At least the normal man way they talk, not be say because I know some people they can be woke now. Come and tell me there are types of money. They talk regular money. Where they take for party rice, jollof, where they support jollof in mission. If the beans is not good, the money cannot be better than the quality of the beans. If the beans is already eaten by weevils and is floating on water and it doesn't have much to offer, that money cannot give you what the beans did not give it. You are expecting from the leaders to give you what we didn't give ourselves in the community, the society. You understand? At this communal level, it's not possible now. Should not be people like us. We don't see each other finish. They go up there, say nothing what they will do. Once I enter now, I change house. I go for VI or Ikoyi or Lekki. I build house. My fence go tall like 12 feet. I put 4 or 5 mopo. I buy G-Wagon. I down the contract. Nothing we go do. I go tell them say I go do the bridge in 6 months. 6 years. We see the top arm with paint. We never do anything. Nothing we go they go do. They know now. And because they don't say nothing will happen. Okay, if anything will happen, go to is it Korea now? North Korea. Kim Jong, the president, Kim, in uncle, chop money, he kill him before they break. Go and Google this. He kill him, in uncle, in papa, cousin or brother, something like that.
Blood.
You understand? They're not be trying. He know the consequence. We know our leaders know the consequence of what they do. Say nothing will happen. In fact, on the contrary, they know what will happen. They know that once they steal money, neighbor go come say, Baba, I see my share. Family go come say, that's the way you steal. Support your brother in school. Support me too. I want to do business. They know. We are dishonest at the communal level. We are fraudulent. We are not, we are not transparent. We are unaccountable at this communal level. So when we get up there, everything will happen now. So that's why I say we have a followership problem, a citizen problem. Now, having said that, it's a bit of a paradox or a mystery. The only way to change this followership or citizen problem is to have good leadership. There's no way citizens can change themselves. It's not possible. Eh? A pot cannot by itself clean its own bomb of soot or blackness. No. It needs sponge. Even though the pot can contain the sponge, but then the pot cannot clean itself without the sponge. So we have a followership or a citizen problem, all right? Now they produce the leaders. But, you understand? Now still the leader will clean the citizen. During the Agbon, I don't know how many people they watch us now, where they mature during the Agbon. Omo now flogging things now for Q. That time. You understand? So discipline, well, it was a military era, but supposedly they were trying to instill discipline. So meaning there's effect. When the now president was about to come into power in 2015, people anticipated a lot of discipline and shaking of tables, especially in the civil service. Everybody sat up. The first 1 week in every civil service that I went to, and the one I heard and researched about all over the country, people were at their desks on time. They carried fire on time. No egunje people, but they observed for a while. And after that one, I don't know what happened, but they don't wait since, you understand? But that's to tell you, people will fall in line. If the head is straight, my brother, the leg will adjust. But your head cannot be facing Lekki and your leg will be facing Mowe. It's not possible. Now, when your head faces, now the leg will follow suit now. Once your head is facing Lekki and your leg faces Mowe, now problem. You are not moving, you are not making progress. That's why we are where we are. I know. Now you sabi o. Now you say your house get address. You know, see me, I not get job. See, that's the problem. That's the problem we have. We're not making progress because the leadership is facing one way, the followership are facing another way. Nobody trusts anybody. Make any leader talk, say, we want to contribute, we'll use your money to say for you, whose money? That's the problem. That's the problem we have.
Wow. I love the way you made it back and forth. You talked about citizens, then you talked about leadership. But then I want to add this. Then in the process, I will now coin a question. I've realized that it is similar to what you said, but maybe the way I will present it is what is different. It's a leadership problem, like you said, and also it is a followership problem. So what happens when every follower is a leader? I tweeted something one time and I said, if there's always a unit of Nigeria within everybody's control, no matter how useless you are. If you are not controlling a neighborhood, you will control a street. If you are not controlling a street, you will control your dining table. You will control your compound. If you are not controlling your compound, you will control your room. There will always, no matter how irrelevant you may think you are as a present-day Nigeria, there's a unit of Nigeria within your control. It might be the NEPA bill in your house. It might be the water bill. So what am I trying to say in essence is, I think we'll have an aggregation of goodwill if everyone starts leading in their smallest unit. So you are the one coordinating security bill in your house. Ensure that in your house, or even if every other house in your street is defaulting, because you are the one controlling it. So how do we? So this is not my point. So when I said many people started raising suggestions and the likes. So this is the question I'm trying to task our brains now, so that a thought will come out. If everyone becomes a leader in their space, and before you know it, we have a vast array of leaders, I believe that in no time, the aura around citizenship will change, and in turn, it will influence the people that will lead us. So how do we how do we bring how do we ginger every individual to know that they are a leader? That leadership is not that general thing you are looking at. That if you have a younger brother, you can lead that younger brother for the sake of Nigeria.
I wish I could tell you a nice sounding answer to this in the spirit of Nigeria's independence and for the sake of being politically correct. But I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, Asiri. It's not this useless. We've been shouting this thing for decades. They don't they shout them before they burn us. If you're not careful, after we are gone, they still go to shout them. The only way, my brother, the only way. There's no how do you get people to change? It's a paradigm shift. It's a mentality drift or a mindset change. How do you get, rephrase that your question now. How do you get each Nigerian to see that they are leaders? It's almost impossible. If it were possible, America won't be falling apart the way it's falling apart now. See the way their politics is. See the way Black Lives Matter and racism issues they are called. It's almost a mess now, right now in America. Human beings will be human beings. The only thing I can hold on to as hope for us is the few good ones don't keep quiet.
The few good ones don't keep quiet. Action point.
If you go online and you see everybody supporting an action that is destructive, maybe out of a population of 20,000, 8,000 people. You know, 8,000 is minority compared to 20,000. You see, have 12,000.
Yes.
If 8,000 people are vocal and they are supporting a cause that is destructive to the community of that 20,000, and the rest of the 12,000 keep quiet, very soon those 8,000 begins to influence the mind of an extra 2,000. Over time, those 2,000 will influence the mind of another 2,000. That's 2,000, 2,000. That's 4 plus 8, 12. So you now have the people that are ready to do what is right in the minority. But when you go online, you see a community going in the same direction. You turn here, they're saying the same thing. You turn there, everybody's saying the same thing. Very soon. Let me give you a very practical example. When Lagos State government introduced a 5%, supposed 5% tax on entertainment industry, which was even difficult to understand, by the way. 5% on your profit or the cost of production, 5% on what? We don't know. We just had 5. I don't even know anything about that. Later, they said it was an error. They said they suspended the person involved. When people began to speak, they know the leadership of the state, they don't hide and say, we hear and see the people they talk. They call the person where they involved. So, what thing they do? Stop them. When South Africa supposedly attacked Nigeria, or South Africans were attacking Nigerians, you know, when Nigerians started to speak out, what happened? The leadership of Nigeria, they stood up and said, okay, we'll talk to South African government. See, the few good ones have to keep talking. That's it.
The few good ones have to keep talking. So we have 3 action points so far. We are gradually coming to the climax of this program. First action point for those that just joined: use your potentials to plug in and use it to change the order of mankind for good. Self-awareness is key, because if you are aware, you'll be able, once you are informed, you'll be able to change a lot of things. And number 3, once you find yourself on the good side, please, the few good ones, ensure you don't keep quiet. So this will take us to another arena. You know, I was in a function yesterday. It was a state house function, and jokingly, I said, if you are more than 60 years, raise your hand. Then I realized that more than 70% of people in the house, their hands were up. And I'm not a fan of statistics, because, I love statistics, but I don't like quoting statistics, because that's what most speakers do. At the end of the day, they will just bamboozle us with numbers. Okay, what's the way forward? Nothing. 8.67% is our unemployment index. Okay, 2.6, we know. What is the solution? Nothing. So I'm not a fan of statistics. I'm not a fan of quoting indexes. I now realize why Bill Gates said he was interested in Nigeria at some point. Nigeria has a very, 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 our youth population is overwhelming. The number of young people in Nigeria, I don't know the exact figures, but I know it's purely overwhelming. So I want to ask, Nigeria as a 60-year-old, if I a 28-year-old, I have a 60-year-old guiding me. That means I have 32 years. I have someone that is 32 years ahead of me in experience, or in, you understand that whatever happened, there's a 32-year gap. Do you think Nigeria has lived to the fullness of the potential of a 60-year-old? First of all, answer that first. Yes or no?
Do I think Nigeria
has lived to the potential of a 60-year-old?
how?
Has lived fully.
You mean in the equivalent of human life? Imagine Nigeria is a human being.
If you have to equate it in form of achievement.
No, now. Yeah, you're 30. How can you be a 60-year-old man that you still go and you don't know how to cook? You can't cook for yourself. The small palm oil and beans and rice in your house, you have to bundle it together in nylon and carry it to your neighbor's house to cook the food before you now buy the food from your neighbor to eat. If they don't, and if you carry your beans, your onion inside nylon, inside your own store, if you give it to your neighbor, you sell it to him. When he now cooks the food, you now go and buy the food he has cooked. If he shuts down there, you are hungry for life. These are the challenges. Right? In your own house, as a 60-year-old man, you're part of your children. Some of them, they steal. They enter your wardrobe, they carry money. And the only solution to it is to say, from now on, no more cash in this house. Some of your children, they thief meat from pot. You now say, from now on, no more cooking in this house. Is that a solution? Why don't you deal with the child that is stealing? So now say because of, so the other children that are not stealing, what do? You punish them along the one that is stealing, because you can't think of a creative way to catch the thief in the house. The only thing you can think of is no. As a 60-year-old human being, if Nigeria were a human being, I don't think Nigeria has done very well. We all know that. I don't think we need to overflow that.
I'm not going to say what someone said. It's too heavy for the camera, but I will just give a clue. You will be the one to mention it. When an elderly person is acting in a way that is very similar to what a toddler will do, Yoruba people will always call that person something at that, something. I won't say it, but I will leave you to do that. But Nigeria has not lived to the fullness of its potentials, and as a 60-year-old, it is very saddening, and it is reflecting in the quality of our citizens. Many people that come online to rant, one guy trolled me online. I don't reply to trolls. If it's a long-standing rule. I don't reply to anybody troll me. But this one trolled me. I sent a DM. Why did you write this? He said, Baba, I don't even know when I write them there. Everything just tire me. I don't get it. Can't they tell me a problem? So actually, the guy was not trolling me. The guy was tired. He needed a space to vent. And my comment box was the rescue at that point. So okay, let me read this so that I don't be like it's just. I don't think so. Nigeria doesn't have the capacity of the potential of a 60-year-old. It's calling still instead of it. Okay, all right. It's reiterate what we said. So this is now my point. We have a lot of youths roaming around, a lot of Nigerians roaming around. They are polar, they are moodish. If you touch them, they will skin you alive.
Everybody's angry. Everybody's hot.
Everybody's angry. Most especially now that they finished Big Brother. Nobody's talking about Lake Erika again. That energy has gone.
Unfortunately, all this anger, we know they marshal them in the right direction. We they take and they wound each other. Insult, fabricate lies about somebody just for fun, catch cruise, throw somebody. A big person come on this comment section and I begin the mission. I begin to say the person gets family problem. The person just shouts some words where I don't feel read for air like this. I don't know when they follow talk for comment section. Maybe not you or not me. I don't know. That's part of what I'm saying. Here the guy is angry. What you should do is go and read about Nigerian history, find out about how many local government areas in Nigeria. Use the opportunity, use your data. This same data where they take waste on top of this kind comment. Take and browse the allocation of your local government area, whether they don't do what they're supposed to do. Inform yourself. That's what we say. The only thing that can take us out of this pit is information, education, self-education, enlightenment. So that's what we're talking about. But sorry. Go on. I'm just reiterating the fact that everybody is angry. Unfortunately, we're not carrying the anger in the right direction.
In fact, you just answered one of my questions, so I'm not going to ask again. I love the part where you talked about people. Some people don't know the name of their councillor, their local government chairman, their representative in Abuja, the representative at state level, how much are they giving him? So until citizens start placing demand on accountability, leaders will start seeing leadership as a free-for-all, because nobody is asking them for feedback. It's just like you sending your child on an errand and you didn't ask for change. You send him the first time, you didn't ask for change. You send him the second time, you didn't ask for change. You send him the fourth time, it's business as usual. You keep sending representatives to Abuja, you are not asking for change from them. You are now dumping that energy on entertainers or celebrities. Don't dump the energy on Frank Donga. Don't dump the energy on Asiri. Don't dump the energy on Insta blog. Dump that energy. Their phone numbers, they are on the website. Go and dump that energy on your representative. That why is there no ball? Why is there no ball? Why is your school like this? Why is this thing like this? Why is this thing like all the whys? So we're just trying to tell you that another action point is okay for you to be angry. But where we get it wrong is you vent your anger in the wrong places. It's not Frank Donga is not a member of House of Rep. Frank Donga is not your counselor.
The only you know see my cap, you know see my suit. I resemble person where they collect wardrobe allowance. Now this kind of clothes are for wear.
So we're rounding up. If you have any question, I can take one or two. Use the question bar. I have just one or two questions more to ask from Donga. Then we summarize. Then we summarize. Then we bring home our points. So, sir, I would love to ask you these questions to you. Actually, so that we won't start going around in circles. In a little time, you've been able to touch all the points that we as citizens need to put into consideration. If you've ever driven past an accident scene before, or maybe you see one on the blogs, it summarizes what Nigerians are. There's an accident scene. You see people, of course, they are survivors. You see people writing in pain, dying, and you see people gather around and they're like, "Yay, Ikulabiamo, Egbawa, yay." You see someone writing in pain, struggling with breath. Everybody will be shouting, "Yay, yay." Then you see someone drive past and be like, "Why are you all shouting? Oh yeah, move this one. Try. Let's rush them to the hospital. Now, let's do this, let's do that." There are two categories of Nigerians. The first one are the first set of people that will be saying "yeah" when someone is dying. They won't call ambulance. They won't call somebody that will move them. The second type of Nigerians are those that when they see something, they don't react. They instantly respond. So we have the emotional Nigerians. They react. Anything they see is emotions, and emotions don't produce results. What produces results is action. So why am I laying all this premise? It's not a question, but I want them to hear it from your mouth. That the answers to this, I want you to say it in your own way. That the answers to our problem is not in throwing emotional tantrums. Is in all of us finding responsive action. If you want me to lead by example, I can tell you this year alone, I know a lot of things Frank Donga has done, even underneath. There was a time he called me and it was like, "This bill, I won't go into details." He said, do a video now. I have to start correct it. Those are part of things he has done underneath. So if every individuals are responders, I don't think we'll be here. So can you help us speak to the consciousness of people to navigate away from emotions? It's killing us. We are too emotional.
Okay. Emotions by themselves are not our enemies. It is how we use them. If you face a dark room that has a wild animal in it, and your emotions interpret fear, it is for your own safety. So in that situation, the emotion is not your enemy. But if out of emotion or fear, you run out of the room, straight into the mouth or into the track of a coming vehicle, without thinking, looking right or left, then the emotion has become your enemy. So it is how we use the emotions or how we allow them to express through us that can become dangerous. You just said something now. We can be angry. Transferring that anger or aggression to you or another human being or another Nigerian is not the solution. That is why I believe that until Nigerian youths, after we have entertained one another on social media, in our schools, in our clubs, with music, with comedy, with art, with movies, after all the entertainment and the enjoyment, until we now sit down and actively take interest in leadership or governance. I didn't say by force take interest in politics. No. Governance and leadership. That's what I said. Find out the people that are on top of you, ruling you. What are they doing? Because whether you like it or not, it will affect your life. If it doesn't affect your life, it will affect the life of your neighbor. Your neighbor's life will not affect your life. Whether you like it or not, it will affect the life of your children, born and unborn. Take interest in what is happening. You don't have a choice. If you don't take interest now, interest will take you along with it to where it's going. If you don't take interest in what the leaders are going, their interest will take you along to where they are going. And by that time, you don't have a choice. So my counsel, my advice to Nigerian youth is beyond enjoyment, beyond self-satisfaction, beyond pursuing your personal goals, take interest in what the people that are governing you are doing, starting from your immediate environment. If you don't take interest in what your estate chairman is doing, in what your compound people are doing, it will affect you. One African proverb say, if your neighbor begin to fry insects, they fry grub and termites, they chop them, you say not concern you. The shout of I don't die, no go gree you sleep for night. She be not concern you now. If like person will say in neighbor house they born, he say not concern me. When the fire jump to your shop, you go no say that time. Say get as it be. Let's take interest in leadership. And that is going to make us behave like leaders on our own. And know that everything we do now, if I enable a policeman to collect bribe by giving him the bribe and encouraging him on, he knows the next person he catches, he can harass and collect bribe from that person. If I become indisciplined in what I'm doing, that can affect the whole of us. I'm indirectly empowering the next person to do the same thing. If I refuse to take a step in the right direction towards bad leadership, and I look the other way, and I collect something from the back, and I don't say, I don't chop my own, I'm only digging my own grave indirectly. So let's take interest in what is happening around us in terms of our leader. I know we are tired. I know we are fed up. I know where everybody wants to go to Canada. I don't blame you. Even if you give me passport self now already, don't be say I go. I just talk say I feel keep on. My pocket big. Everybody want Japa. At all. Mauritius. People they hustle for Mauritius. The thing don't hook also. Now South people they hustle for now. Mauritius people they hustle. My brother, people don't settle for Ghana. Ghana is now the place in West Africa, maybe with the ratio as the heart of Africa. We know they take interest beyond music and reality TV show. Music is good. Being a fanboy or a fangirl is good. Reality TV show is fine from foreign one to local one. Nothing wrong with it now. If that's how you want to spend your time and your data, nothing wrong. You get anything I spend my time and data on too. But after all that, what next? If you don't come together and take decisive steps in holding our leaders to account and say, Asiri are not good. We're only digging our graves. And that is why I'm going to finish with these three things. Look, cost of governance must be brought to his knees. The way it is too high. Nobody can talk to cost of governance. Ordinary small position in politics now, the kind of thing where they take pamper leaders from big motor to big house to fat salary. Somebody mentioned about NDDC now. With all the drama of NDDC, what has happened? I was so shocked. Opera not come out. But if Whiskey fan, if he jam the video fan, Twitter will be on fire. If one celebrity collects the girlfriend of another celebrity, we will not rest for the next 1 week. I mean, it gets within the trend for the past 3 weeks now, 3 months now. Now it don't end. Another thing will trend for the next 3 months or thereabout. So my point is, a little bit of this energy too, we can divert it to say, people with the lead us, what did they do? If they know that we are watching them, and then we all decide that the cost of governance should be brought down, there will be a little bit more money to do the things that will make our lives better. Power, infrastructure, education and health. End of story.
Thank you very much. I wish we can continue this discourse, but we have to bring it home at this point. I'm particularly happy that in the midst of everything, you were able to even answer some of the questions I didn't ask. And that's the beauty of an intellectual mind like yours. And it's a great privilege having you on this session. Thank you for telling us about the cost of governance, bringing it down. And I believe that, don't worry, these sessions will be saved. I believe that most people can come back and try to fuse the action points in this session, and all of us can find perspective to be better. Let me quickly run through them again. Plug in, self-awareness, feel good ones, don't keep quiet, be interested in what is going on around you, speak up. I would have loved us to talk about police, but the time is not. But thank God you mentioned it already. The police bill that was circulated around. I believe that
police zone. I suggest you go to my link, the link in my bio. I interviewed the first PRO, Frank Mba, on internal security. I was able to two parts. Part one don't go up today. Another part is coming next week. Go to the link in my bio on Instagram and go and watch the 30-minute long interview with Frank Mba. I had an interview with Frank Mba on SARS, police brutality, on everything. So everything join.
So you had that already. Thank you, everyone. My name is Damilare Oshindare, popularly known as Asiri Comedy, MC, comedian, author. My page is at Asiri Comedy. You can feel free, check me up, my website, damilareoshindare.com. And Frank Donga, I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. It's good. In fact, let me even screenshot like this. Post. Give the That's the look. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It's the conversation on Let's Talk and More Action. I believe that all the action points that we've been able to put together, if we judiciously work around them, we will be able to find a better headway. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the audience. God bless you all.